Friends, my name's Dan. Thank you for joining me for another edition of Anatomy Masters. Today we're going to talk about how to do a very simple human torso. Now remember, this is like Anatomy 101. We'll get more complex as we go. I am indebted for this episode to the master of American anatomy drawing, George Bridgman, right here in the very front of his book. He says, start with a square right there. So let's show you how to do this. Number one, human torso viewed from the front, start with a square. Viewed from the side, a rectangle, roughly 2-to-1 ratio. Front, 1-to-1. Now we're going to tweak that a little bit. Back to the front, draw it again. This time taper it. So now it's a trapezoid or a parallelogram. Any of those words will work. From the side, you can taper it just a tiny bit if you want to. All right. Now, the real trick here is we're going to put these two together. So you have to be able to visualize this in 3 dimensions. If you can draw a cube, you can do this. So again, I'm taking these two shapes, putting them together. So you want just the dividing lines that I've drawn, they go something like that. Of course, I'm drawing really loose and scrappy. That's the way I want you to draw too. Keep it loose, keep it loose, keep it loose. All right, now we have a very important addendum. Let's go to the side view of that torso. I can just leave it square for now. So again, side view, here we are. We're going to slap on top of this a 30, 60, 90 triangle. I have one of those right here. See this? That's a 30, 60, 90 triangle. 90, 60, 30. Always, it is always that shape. It can't be any other if it's 30, 60, 90. Put that right there. This is going to be a person facing to our left. It just so happens that that triangle slapped on top of this gives just about the perfect placement for not only the human neck, but also the shoulders. See that right there? That just gets us positioned just right. So now, if we take this and view it from the front, remember we had a square, then we tapered it, and now we've slapped this triangle. So now you have to visualize this plane right here is moving away from us. It's this plane seen from the front. Does that make sense? Now let's draw that in 3 dimensions, the way we did a little while ago. Now it's got a triangle sitting on top of it. Does that make sense? Looks a little bit more like a carton of milk than it does like a human torso right now, doesn't it? But be patient, we're going to get there. Let's do that again. Let's now view it from the front. Again, I don't mind you drawing that square over and over and over again, then taper it. And now it's got that triangle on the top. Now we're just going to round off the whole. You know this is round. You know the human body is not as angular as all this. So round everything off. Now, just about in the middle of this, you put the diaphragmatic arch. Just about, a capital U upside down. Maybe a coffee cup upside down. Draw a line down the middle. And 1, 2, and then a belly button, 3. There's our 6-pack. Now up here, we're going to draw 2 spheres. Let me show you where I'm getting some help. Remember this guy? We've seen him or her before, haven't we? It's a pretty good way to help learn how to draw a human figure. The problem is this sphere, because it's made out of wood and this is made out of wood, those two shapes can't amalgamate. They can't smoosh into each other, but you can draw them smooshed into each other. While we're here, let's do the pecs, the chest muscles, the breasts. Here's a funny little tip. In a male, the nipples are closer together in an immature male, and if it's a male who has worked out a lot in the gym, the more musculature he has, the nipples actually move further apart. I'm getting a little bit too much detail. We could also do lats and what anterior, forget what those are called, but that's good enough. Now let's draw that again. This is, remember, Anatomy 101. I don't want to get too complicated, but I want you to be able to do this much. Square, taper, add a triangle to the top, and this time make the edges of the triangle roll in, and then a sphere. Just so happens that this curve right here, this curve right here, so you're just imagining the rest of the sphere inside this block. Just so happens that that curve is just about a perfect beginning to the deltoid muscles that we'll focus on when we draw the arms. Now, the diaphragmatic arch, the rib cage, then you see is like this, and the breasts about like this. Now, if you've been with me for long, you know that in my school we learn how to draw the male first and the female second, because if we can draw a male, we can easily draw a female. It does not work the other way around. If you learn to draw females, you cannot draw males, but if you learn to draw males, you can draw females. Once again, George Bridgman has that right. He focuses very heavily on the male figure, because if you can draw the male, it's easy to draw the female. You basically just smooth out all the muscles, but it doesn't work the other way around. Okay, then down the middle, 1, 2, navel, and so on. And then we'll start getting into other parts. We'll do this when we do the hips. You got it? Let's do those steps again, as I always do, in numerical order. Here it is. Torso steps. 1, square. 2, from the side, rectangle. Square from the front, rectangle from the side. Number 3, make it 3D. All right. Number 4, taper. Big taper. That right there, that's an exaggeration. That'll have to do for now. Number 5, 30, 60, 90, triangle. I wish there was an easier name for that triangle. And you slap it on the top. From the view, you slap it on the top of the side view. That gives the positioning of the neck and the top of the chest all ready to go. Number 6, the diaphragmatic arch. Diaphragm arch. Again, viewed from the front, about halfway up. Curve right there. And then let's just add this. 1, 2, navel, 3. Okay, 6 back. Number 7, orbs or spheres in the shoulder. I'll draw that again, and we'll stop this lesson right there. So the rest of the sphere, you just visualize it going inside the chest box, if you will. So when we're all done, we have something like that. Oh, I should mention the chest, the pecs, shouldn't I? Capital L and a backwards capital L, with the top, with the verticals leaning out just ever so slightly. And if you're drawing a muscular man, the lats, the armpit then is right in here. All right, let's draw that one more time real quickly. This time, do it with me. There you go. That's a decent start. Keep it loose and scribbly. Try it a whole bunch of times till you can start doing other stuff. And again, next lesson, the human hips. Thanks for watching.